Hello, Facebook. It's Cesar Rincon. I hope you're doing great. Today is Thursday, November the 10th, and today I had a fantastic day. And I wanted to share with you 10 business and marketing lessons that we learned, or that I learned, from the recent presidential election. Now, just a warning, I just want to make it clear, this is not a political post. If you're coming here, expecting to hear information related to politics and why the person that won, you're in the wrong place. Get offline, because I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what happened from a marketing, from a business perspective, what happened, because it's something that is really extraordinary. Whether you like the president that was elected or not, you have to understand, and you have to realize, and you have to accept the fact that it was something incredible that happened, something that most people did not expect. And so I wanted to share that with you from a business perspective, so that you can take this information and see how you can apply it to your business, to your life, to what's going on in your world. I'm doing this video from my backyard because inside my dogs tend to bark. So I wanted to share those things with you. Quick disclaimer, I did vote for Donald Trump. Like it or not, I do like Donald Trump, and I do like him from before he even ran for president. In fact, one of the books that I've read a long time ago is a book by Donald Trump called, the name says it all, Think Big and Kick Ass. And if you saw a copy of my book, I can't hold it, but I've got it highlighted and underlined, and it's just really a really good business book. So whether you like Donald Trump or not, that's beside the point. Okay, let's grow up for a minute. Let's pretend this is just a business class. Let's pretend Steve Jobs won the presidency, or what's the guy from Microsoft, Bill Gates. Or let's pretend, hey, for those of you that like Mark Cuban, let's say he won the presidency. Let's say even maybe even if Hillary won the presidency. I want you to think about the points that I'm going to make, and how they can affect you, how you can use those points, that information, and apply it to your business and to your life. All right, so with that, let's get right to the point. The first thing that I really liked about this campaign is to think big. Think big, think bigger. How much bigger can it go than thinking, hey, I can become president of the United States? I've never held an office, I've never been elected for anything, and but I'm gonna go for it. Because here's what happens. Most of the time, 99% of the time, 99% of the people are thinking too small. They're challenging, they're limiting themselves by not challenging themselves. So I encourage you to start thinking big. Start thinking bigger in whatever you do. Okay? This message is intended for everybody, for athletes, for business people, for network marketers, for salespeople, for business owners, for people who want to become business owners. Think big, think bigger. Because guess what? If somebody has already done it, you can do it too. So always think big, and then challenge yourself. Why not a little bit bigger? Let's say you want to do X. Why not, if you want to do 10, why not 11? You can do it, because guess what? If you think bigger, you get bigger results. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. It's a very, very famous quote, and it's one of my favorites. And sadly, most people don't think big enough. Most people don't even, don't even shoot for 1% of their full potential. So think bigger, think big, and then think bigger. All right. So the second point is to never give up, regardless of who your opponents are or what your challenges are. So here's what happens. When the current president-elect entered the presidential primaries, he entered against 16 or 17 opponents, all of which, by all standards, were more experienced in government than he was. Yet, that did not limit him from running. That did not limit him from thinking, I can beat these guys. I can go out and achieve my dream. I can achieve what I set out to do, regardless of who the opponents were. So let me just share an example. Let's say you want to open a burger shop. Well, of course there's McDonald's, of course there's Burger King, of course there's, Five Guys and all these other big burger chains. But if you want to have a big burger chain, why not? Don't worry about what the competition is doing. Just do your thing and never give up, because along the way there's going to be roadblocks. and don't sell yourself short. Guess what? Sometimes the giant is not as big as it seems. Okay? In this particular case, this candidate beat all the odds per se, in the sense that these people had experience, they had volunteers, they had all kinds of infrastructure from previous campaigns, and he was able to go in and one by one defeat the opponents. So that's a very good point. Never give up. Never give up regardless of who your opponents are. Number 3, and this is a historical marketing message. Historical marketing message. I've been in sales and marketing and in advertising for almost 20 years. And one of the things that one of my mentors taught me from the very beginning in copywriting, and this is a gentleman by the name of Dan O'Day, the best copywriting teacher I've ever trained with. He said the key is to have a single core message, and a message that resonates and that it's a promise. He said a brand is a promise. And what better core message? Again, doesn't matter if it was Donald Trump. It doesn't matter if it was the guy from Microsoft. It doesn't matter if it was Mark Cuban or whoever else might have been running. The tagline, "Make America Great Again," has to be, and I think my advertising colleagues will agree, it has to be one of the most powerful taglines or slogans ever in the history of advertising. Make America great again. Why? Number 1, it's short and simple. Number 2, it tells you exactly what it is. No fluff. And I'm going to talk about that in another point. Number 3, it's memorable. Number 4, it's to the point. You know exactly what it is. Okay? And number 5, that is the promise. The brand is the promise. So make America great again. Hey, if Hillary would have said, "Make America great again," maybe she would have won. Compare the taglines. Stronger together, make America great again. Which one? Regardless of who the candidate was, regardless of who the party was, which tagline do you like better? Come on. You know, make America great again is a better tagline. And again, this is not political. I'm not even reading the comments. Just think about it as a business, okay? As a campaign. Number 3, work ethic like crazy. Mr. Trump, one of the things he talked about, and he was criticized for, per se making fun of other candidates by saying that they didn't have any energy. Mr. Trump has an incredible work ethic. He crisscrossed the country like no one ever before, working day and night, getting up at 4 in the morning, going to bed late, working because he had a goal, he had an objective, he wanted to reach the ultimate destination. You've got to have work ethic, guys. Come on. And this includes myself, this includes everybody I know. If you don't have work ethic, you cannot expect results. You can't get a six-pack by thinking about it. You've got to go out and do it. You've got to go work, and you've got to be consistent. That's one thing that Mr. Trump was: consistent with his message and consistent with his work ethic. In and out, day in, day out, no breaks, just going full steam ahead. The 5th point that I learned was to accept your mistakes and move on. Okay? Sometimes, here's what's interesting. It's not just about accepting mistakes, but Mr. Trump had a few things that could have rendered him, oh, I'm sorry, and then quit, or could have thrown him off track. He made some mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. McDonald's makes mistakes. Subway makes mistakes. Look what happened with Jared, right? So what do? You accept your mistakes and you move on. You keep going and you keep going and you keep going, because you cannot sit there and dwell on your mistakes or even focus on them too much. So make sure that you do not worry or live in your past because of the mistakes. Guess what? The things that happened yesterday, they're done. They're over with. Okay? You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. So don't get stuck on your mistakes. The 6th thing that he did was that you gotta make changes and you gotta course correct. The road to success, the ultimate destination, is not easy. And along the way, you're gonna have to make some changes. Along the way, you're gonna have to shed some of your weight. You're gonna have to shed some of your existing organization, because one lesson I learned in business for sure is that what got me here is not what's gonna get me there. And Mr. Trump was right on the spot when he fired his campaign manager. I don't know the names, but halfway through the campaign, he had to make changes with his executive team. And once he was in the running, it's not personal. He just needed better people to help him, to guide him, to work with him to go all the way. Now, in some cases, some companies, some businesses, with the same people that they started, they're able to go all the way. But in many cases, you have to shed. It doesn't matter if it's, your best friend that's been with you for 15 years and we were buddies and we built this together. But sometimes if you want to go to the next level, sometimes something like that may be holding you back. Finding the right people may be holding you back. So you don't be afraid to make a change along the way. Okay? There's going to be adjustments, and don't be afraid to make those changes. Number 7, I love this one. Don't listen to naysayers. Guess what? Naysayers are just that, naysayers. It's easy for other people to try to rain on your parade. Look, if you're in sales, you can become the number 1 salesperson in your company, even if the number 1 guy has been there for 20 years and has been the 20-year veteran, right? In network marketing, you can make it in network marketing. I love network marketing. You can make it. Don't listen to the naysayers because it's not their dream. So when people were telling Donald Trump, oh, there's no way you can make it, you should not even run, blah, 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 Bush is going to run, Ted Cruz is going to run. And I'm using names just to be specific, not being political, okay? I hope you understand that. He didn't listen to the people. He listened to what he, in his heart, he knew what was possible. So he went all the way and did not listen to the naysayers, okay? Unfortunately, most people spend too much time listening to what other people have to say on the negative side instead of listening to the few who encourage you and push you on the positive side. So don't listen to naysayers. Number 8, you don't need to sugarcoat it. You don't need to sugarcoat it. Sometimes in business, we try to be so polite and so formal and so politically correct. And again, this is not a political deal. I repeat, not a political deal. But you just got to go to the point, okay? You just got to get to the point and be you, be real. Be real. Don't be, so formal that it's like, hey, man, be real. Be real. Tell it like it is, okay? People are tired of scripted people. People are tired of everything trying to be perfect. Everybody trying to pretend to be perfect. Especially in today's world. Come on, guys. It's real. Talk to people. Talk to people. Talk to people, but be real. Okay? So don't be afraid to be real. That's one of the things that I think people liked about the president-elect is that he was real. He did not try to pretend and try to be all formal and try to be, he's just who he is. He's always been that way. He's always been outspoken. Okay? Don't change who you are to try to appeal to other people. Who you are is already good enough. Who you are is enough to get you to that next level. Number 9, focus on your strengths. Donald Trump did not even turn to look at what his weaknesses were. What were his weaknesses? Oh, he didn't have political experience. Oh, he didn't have troops on the ground, per se. Oh, he didn't have the connections. Oh, he didn't have the backing of the big donors. Oh, he could have focused on all the weaknesses, right, that traditionally help a candidate, regardless of party, get elected. He focused on what he believed in. He focused on knowing that he had a strong core message, that he had something that people wanted to hear, that people wanted for their lives, and he focused on that. He focused on that strength. He focused on of course, leveraging the fact that many people knew his name, right? But he focused on those strengths. And a lot of times we're like, well, I don't know, I'm not that good in this, or I'm not that good in that, or man, that other person is better than me at this. Forget about it. Forget about it. Who you are and what you know and what you do is good enough to get you to the next level. Now, it may not be everything to be all the way, but you have to make sure that you are good enough, okay, and focus on those strengths. And number 10, look, anything is possible. Look, and again, this is not a political post, but if Donald Trump became president of the United States with no prior political experience, with no prior, being elected, anything is possible. Of course, did he have money? Of course, it had an advantage that he has a home plane to fly across the country campaigning. Of course, those things make a difference. But think about it. Against all odds, he was able to pull this off. And don't give me the rhetoric, the hate, blah, 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 blah. No, regardless, he was able to pull it off. And if he was able to pull off becoming president-elect of the United States, and on January 20th, 2017, he'll become the 45th president of the United States, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can do it. You can do it. Don't sell yourself short, okay? There's so much more that you can be. And if you take some of these points and many more into consideration and have a long-term vision and take action day in and day out, you too can accomplish your dreams. So with that, I thank you so much for watching. This is super exciting. Please like and share this video. If you're going to comment, no political comments. Don't waste your time. Don't be silly. Everybody's going to make fun of you for not following the rules, right? So thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Let's see how we stop this. Okay, there we go.